So Baskonia for players is a well-known stepping stone to earn career contracts or to even play in the best basketball league in the world. From Luis Scola to Thiago Splitter and recently Simon Fontecchio. Of course, who could forget names like Jose Calderon, Pablo Prigioni or Davis Bertans. And currently Markus Howard is in the steps of pure greatness. After not having the most impressive professional career start playing for Denver Nuggets, Markus Howard signed with Baskonia this year. In his second Euroleague game, Markus goes off against Partizan, scoring 33 points while making 8 3-pointers. So Markus introduced himself during a matchup against Obradovic as he showcased that he can easily pull up from downtown off the dribble. As we gradually continue to watch these highlights, you can see that while Howard is only 5'9", he can honestly shoot over any opponent. His matchup for this game was Kevin Punter, who's 6'4". In the first situation, Kevin was a bit lazy to close out Markus. In the second clip, he does a better job, but Markus still easily swishes the shot. Obradovic of course began making changes as Partizan's big guys began closing out Markus, but again he managed to overshoot Matthias Lazort, who's 6'9". Next Euroleague game, again a different Serbian opponent, and Markus again goes off scoring 30 points while making 7 3-pointers. It's really amazing to watch how he simply pulls up against taller opponents and manages to make these difficult shots. Markus Howard shoots almost 7 3-pointers per game, which is a second result in the league behind Vasilija Micic. While having a better percentage than Vasilija himself, Markus makes a whopping 46.6% of his 3-pointers so far this season. Considering that it's his first year in Europe, considering his height and considering the difficult shots he attempts every single game, these stats are absolutely crazy. So just because he's shooting lights out from the arc, defenders are forced to stick with him closer, which opens up an opportunity to drive. Now Markus Howard has some struggles too. First of all, of course, his defense. Due to his size, teams are looking for switches when Howard is defending usually anyone in the paint. He lacks quickness and will to get out of screens to defend his matchup. Players can get passed by him pretty easily, not to mention simply shoot over him. It's a well-known issue for offensively minded American players to struggle defensively, as most of the time they lack concentration and desire to defend. So this issue causes huge problems. Let's talk about this particular situation, where most likely Trinchieri ordered Corey Walden to attack Markus Howard, 2 quick fouls and he's out of the game. The game against Olympiacos with Barzokas and backcourt consisting of Shaquille McKissick, Thomas Walkup and a glue guy Larenzakis also showcased Howard's weaknesses on both sides. Thomas Walkup is arguably the best defender in Euroleague, and when Walkup was on the bench, glue guy Larenzakis was sticking to Markus. Naturally, Markus began forcing shots as he ended the game with 11 points and just 1 3-pointer. Now this only shows an untapped potential that Markus Howard has. Being a lethal shooter, drawing lots of attention, Markus only manages to gather an estimated 8% of assists per offensive possessions. Now of course majority of playmaking and assist making in Baskonia's team goes to Marinkovic, Henry and Thompson. But I genuinely believe that Markus could improve his decision making when it comes to shoot or pass.
Llega Howard, se levanta Howard. Mal Howard.
But then again, Markus Howard has plenty of room to improve as he is only 23, and will he become the next Mike James or Shane Larkin is yet to see. For example, looking at Mike James' first season for Baskonia. In his first ever season for Baskonia, Mike James averaged less points than Markus Howard while shooting atrociously from the 3-point line. Of course, by now we all know how good Mike James' shooting ability is. Also back then, Mike relied more on his athleticism and driving ability to score. Also interesting fact that Mike James season after season gradually improved his playmaking. In the modern Euroleague era during 2016-17 season for Panathinaikos, Mike James averaged 3 assists per game. 2 seasons later for Emporio Armani, James upped his assist stat line to 6.4. So if Markus Howard continues to progress in Shane Larkin's or Mike James' trajectory, we will have another lethal scorer in Europe.
Real Madrid's 7th turnover of the night. No, Howard. No, Markus Howard! He's punishing Real Madrid.